Hi, my name is Michael Skinner, and I live in New Hampshire, originally from Boston, Massachusetts. And if you knew me back in 1992, I was living what I felt was the American dream. I was sitting on top of the world. I was happily married to my wife, my partner of 21 years. We had 5 beautiful daughters, and the greatest gifts that I or two of us could have ever asked for. We were homeowners, and I owned a very successful business in the music world. And I still got to play the drums on the weekend in bands. So I had it all and had a really high income. My ex-wife could stay at home, so life was good. We had our problems and our share of ups and downs, but life was good. But in January of 1993, that all came crashing down. The flashbacks of the past from the severe childhood abuse I had experienced at the hands of both of my parents growing up in Boston, Massachusetts, in Billerica, as well as many of their perverted friends, the flashbacks just became so overwhelming. I had a nervous breakdown, and I ended up in psychiatric hospitals. I was never institutionalized, but I was in and out of hospitals many times. And that, I couldn't work, and that just broke me to the core because it was so overwhelming. So now I had the diagnosis of complex post-traumatic stress and major depression. This created untold havoc upon my wife at the time and the kids, and that only created more guilt upon me trying to overcome this. And that was really hard. But what helped me to get through it, and it's been a long process, this didn't happen overnight. It took many years for me to find healing through this, and I still deal with it on a daily basis, for myself was to really learn as much as I can about trauma and abuse and the mental health issues I was dealing with. Because I don't like to use the words mental illness because it was so stigmatizing to me, because I kept hearing from so many around me, the treatment providers and friends who would have nothing to do with me anymore because how I was mentally ill. So everything I could do to learn about trauma and abuse, because learning how it impacted me physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it had created havoc in my life, and everything I thought I knew had come undone. I had to learn a whole new way of life. And the key for myself was learning about trauma and what it did to me. And it's been a slow process, but I have gotten better through that. And it's taken time, and it's been doing things holistic, learning how to eat right, exercise, walking, just whether I'm walking at a fast clip or just a simple walk through the woods is healing for me. That does so much for me. There's so many, listening to music, spending time with friends. But again, I had to learn about the trauma and the abuse because my trust had been broken. I had to learn how my trust had been shattered. It took me a long time to learn that, hey, I needed to get back in the world and get back into the game and become engaged with people again, because it was so easy for me to isolate and just shut down and stay in my room, if you will. I lost everything, because my wife at the time, she divorced me, and soon the kids were alienated from me, and that was another hurdle to get through. And I did get through it. I still feel that pain here from the loss of my kids, but it was hard. But life goes on, and I'm blessed with so many great friends, and we hear a lot about peer support, and I can't give enough praise and gratitude for those who did stick by me. And I've lost many friends, but I've gained so many great, wonderful friends. And so the peer support has been helpful, exercising, eating right, getting back to music. My spirituality, I'm not a religious person, but I do pray to my higher power of understanding, and even spirituality in nature, just taking time and being in the moment is best. Learning about mindfulness. These things have helped me to deal as best as I can in my healing journey, because I'm still on a healing journey. I'm not recovered. It's still a long ways to go, but I'm doing so much better. There's one thing that I can share that has helped me the most for myself personally, if I can help possibly yourself, is trauma and abuse in your mental health conditions, your mental health concerns. It does take time. And I still have up and downs, but I'll tell you, those downs don't last as long. Now they're a day, maybe a two. They're not the weeks or months or years. And that's okay. I've learned to accept that sometimes things are going to trigger me and I may have a down time, but that's all right. I will get through it. And I remind myself, I've created little slips of paper that are all throughout my house that I look at to remind me that this is going to pass. And we do get better. It takes time. And you just can't get over it. Maybe the pain will always be with you, but we do find ways to move on and heal from this. We can heal from this. And life does get better. I truly believe that.